Tuma, that DA would know what he's saying, having been a minister, of Barrow himself before.
Yeah, obviously he would know what he's saying, and he's a person with conscience, I would say. I have high respect for DA. Likewise, I would say same for Dr. Tangara. I have very high regard for Dr. Tangara, because for me personally, it's what you can do. That is how I judge you, whether you served under Jame or whether you served under Sadauda or whether you served under Barrow. It is the person that I see, and I see Tangara as a very respectable person, and for him to come out and say such is quite true. And because it was coming from within, the way Tangara said it, you could tell that he was frustrated. I have seen some ministers that know what they are doing. There are certain members of the cabinet that truly deserve to be in cabinet because of their knowledge of what they are. Because in our constitution, it is stated that ministers should have the capability to serve in the positions that they are given. But we do not. We see that most ministers are there because of politics.
Yeah, but
Tangara,
but is capability only knowledge?
His capability, to be a foreign affairs minister, you need to have the capability, you need to have the knowledge.
And my question is capability only knowledge?
No,
yes,
but
he has the knowledge.
He has the knowledge,
yes.
He has the capability. But maybe he does not have the courage to advise the president and say no to what the president says, because what he says is quite true. I have seen some people in the diplomatic corps.
People like who?
I have seen some people that contested elections, lost, and were sent to diplomatic missions as reward.
We've seen that.
And those people, maybe they might be capable, because I'm not saying they are not capable, but what was the reason? Because we have been in this country. I heard you the last time.
And that is the argument of Alkali Conte. It's not all these political appointees.
It is true. Yeah. I'm not saying what he's saying is wrong. Yeah. Alkali Conte is also a decent person. So he will not just come and say, Alkali Conte, I would say if he's sent on a diplomatic mission, he also deserves it. Not only does he have the capability, he also has the networking and the connections. That is all part of the capability of being an ambassador. It shouldn't just be reward. There are so many things. Maybe they can all revisit what they have said. Maybe Tangara would sit in his quiet moment, because you cannot throw stones at everybody and give them the same value. Because some of them, I have known some of my colleagues that lost their elections. And I think having worked with them for 5 years at the parliament also gives them some sort of exposure that they can also serve in that capacity. Maybe they are seen as politicians first, but maybe their capability also can give them that. But before, from the Gambia that I grew up from, ambassadorial positions were so respected. If you say this is an ambassador, because you are seen as Gambia in those countries. So when you do any mishap, it is the country that you are putting in disregard, in disrespect. And from what we have seen...
Tangara should know that.
Tangara should know
so
that.
So when people mess up outside, drag the name of the country in the mud...
Dragging the name of the country... And
if he had the capability you are advocating, if the president wants to send that person elsewhere...
He can say no. But
exactly.
It is, at the end of the day, it is the final say lies with the president. Sometimes, ministers would not even know. They would just be giving names. I'm sending these people. President sometimes would just sit and just do things without even thinking.
Yeah, but those people, who are his advisors, the ministers are all advisors to the president.
Ministers are advisors to the president.
Should be able to go to him and say, Mr. President, you cannot do this.
You cannot do this. But at the end of the day, they are also safeguarding their jobs. That is why I say we need strong institutions. We need a strong parliament. Hang on. We need a strong parliament. We need a parliament that before ministers should be vetted before they go. And before they are sacked, they should send the reasons to Parliament for Parliament to approve. If we have had that...
Well, the 2024 draft constitution that you people are considering
if we have had that... Ministers would have been firm enough to challenge the president and tell him that what you are doing is not correct. Yes. But without that, the bulk of the game ends with the president. He is the one that appoints. He is the one that sacks. He is the one that sends to any diplomatic mission.
So
I do not blame Tangara. I blame His Excellency President Adama Barrow for all the failures in this country. He appoints for reward.
So Tangara was right to lash out at political appointees.
To lash out at political appointees, but not every political appointee is a failure in our diplomatic mission. Some of them are doing excellent.